Hello, 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 hello. We are making a video with the baby dog and another glove, yet another glove, filled with air freshener balls that are scented with a very, very artificial watermelon scent. So, but I like it. I like it. Real strong scent. Oh man, that's called alchemy. Alchemical. And I thought about it last night, lying in bed. I thought about the alchemists. Once the human species is evolved to a certain level of understanding that they can cook things together in pots and mix different elements together, that they could figure out how to create a new element, right, or a new chemical. That's called alchemy. This was actually against the law because it was for a long time regarded as witchcraft and sorcery. Believe it or not. So, but it wouldn't matter how forbidden some things were. When it came to curiosity of the human brain, we're not even talking about greed yet. So that came much later. Once you have greed in the equation, then things are really dwindling down fast, right? So, but no, in the beginning there was just curiosity, there was intellectual interest in mixing things together and seeing what happens, right? It's like a child playing with things. Then later on the mathematicians and physicists came into it, and they couldn't stop exploring and creating formulations, including Dr. Lise Meitner, German lady physicist who was working in Germany under the Nazi regime, also parallel to Werner von Braun. Both Werner von Braun and Lise Meitner were Jewish, and as you can see, the Jewish community has a lot of geniuses. And as you can clearly see, Adolf Hitler was not against peaceful geniuses. It wouldn't matter what ethnicity they had in their person, in their DNA, right? That did not matter. Adolf Hitler supported all peaceful geniuses. Or peaceful cabaretists, artists, musicians, actors, stage actors, okay. Many of them Jewish. Adolf Hitler supported them. He went to their plays. He watched their plays. It's the truth, I'm not joking. He loved them. So he undersold himself, and the whole thing spiraled into the ultimate misunderstanding, which he himself, of course, contributed to by making race a problem. Okay, so as a general statement, even if you make this as a general statement, you cannot make race a problem. You still can't. Even if statistics is in your support, okay, you cannot make race a problem. Because there are people that will fall outside of that range, okay, that will not be what the main graph of the statistics is showing. There will be people that fall outside of that graph. Okay, there will be Jewish people or people from any ethnicity that are very kind-hearted, that are very peaceful, would never hurt anyone, that are not greedy, that just want to make the world a better place, right? Those people exist from all races. Whatever they are, Jewish, Gypsy, Armenian, Middle Eastern, Pakistani, African, Egyptian, people that are descendants of the Dogon tribe in West Africa. I think they are probably very good-hearted, those people. So, unfortunately, what happens in evolution is that in the southern regions on Earth, where people don't have to worry about freezing to death or finding the next apple tree or the next avocado tree, right? Unfortunately, there, everyone gets to survive, including the bad people, or if there are any bad people. And then the bad people will force the good people to give them their food or whatever they have, right? Services. It's the bad people that will rape women. They will carry on their offspring. It's just a mechanistic situation. That's what it is. It's very unfortunate. It's called malgenics. It happens in evolution, and it particularly happens in a society where there are string holders, as we have today, who use people's guilt to manipulate people with it. So, white guilt, for example, is being used to get certain politicians elected, to let violent criminals go free, you name it. Okay. White guilt taxes old white people out of their homes. It's the truth. It's white guilt that I'm sorry. It's white guilt that doesn't say anything when hideous regulations and laws are being signed into effect. Right? So take a moment to think about this. Take a moment to really think this through. And so the baby does. If we want to make the world a better place, we have to question white guilt. And we have to question the entire narrative about Adolf Hitler. Because this man actually wanted to make the world a better place. It's the truth, okay? This is the truth. So I'm still not going to be part of a Hitler-supporting fringe group, whether fringe or not fringe, doesn't matter, right? I will not be part of it. For the reason of thinking for myself. Okay, so I'm not going to be against them. I will understand where they're coming from. But I will not be part of it because partisanship has never led to world peace. So it has never done it. You can watch and observe what happened throughout history. So what moves us forward is thinking for ourselves, being kind-hearted to everyone, every single person, regardless of race, treating everyone equally well. Okay. Now, if there's a violent murderer, I am not sorry to say that the violent murderer needs to be removed from society, regardless of race, okay? So that was really the sentiment of Adolf Hitler, but he made the mistake of becoming hysterical and blaming it on race. So that was the problem. And that happens very easily when people are psychotic or when they ride themselves into a frenzy. It's very easy for them to observe things and then say, these terrible striped people or people with flower patterns on them. So let's get rid of them because they're all violent. That's a mistake. Okay, so it's a mistake. It doesn't make the world a better place. There are always exceptions. And even if there were no exceptions, even if it was all true, it's 100% true, 100% positive correlation in the coordinate system between X and Y, then you still shouldn't make it into race. It's stupid to do that. It does not hurt to just simply say, with a calm and reasonable mental state, let's get rid of violent people. End of story. Okay? No need to blame anything on race. There's no need for it. If I walk down the street and I see the flower patterned person, whatever. No, actually, if I see someone with a flower pattern like this, I will walk by and wave my jello hand at them. But what I'm trying to say is, if I see that person that I see on the news all the time, the mug shots, right? I see that same person that looks just like the mug shots. Yeah, of course I have to be careful. Of course I am prejudiced. Of course. There's no shame in being prejudiced. You know why? Because you're trying to protect yourself. You're protecting your animal. You can't be woke and say, that is my prejudice. I need to overcome my prejudice. I need to just ignore my prejudice. That's a very stupid thing to do. That has killed people. A girl who visits her boyfriend in Afghanistan. Girl from Germany or Netherlands, right? Flies over there, a 16-year-old girl. And the parents support her with that, right? Yeah, we are not prejudiced. No, we are not. Bye-bye. So she's not coming back to her parents. She will never see her parents again. They will never see her again. Because the girl is going to be gang raped and then murdered. That's it. If you're not prejudiced, you're asking for problems. Okay? No, there are some people that are prejudiced for very neurotic reasons. Right? There will be the other, the mugshot type of person, who will be prejudiced against the other. Right? He will be prejudiced against them. Even though he has nothing to fear from them. Right? Like that girl Irina on the subway in New York. Irina from the Ukraine comes to the United States, young girl in her early 20s, wants to study, wants to go to college. She sits in the subway, minding her own business. A camera system is installed, and they film the whole thing. Black guy behind her gets up, slashes her to death. Okay, so she was not prejudiced because she's coming from the Ukraine, where they don't even have the mugshot people. So she doesn't even know about the dangers to coming to New York from all places, right? But then there are people that will know heard about the dangers, and they will still send their girl to Afghanistan or Pakistan. Have a good time there with your new boyfriend. Was such a nice fella. They do it out of wokeism or out of a prestige way of thinking, which my parents have always done. Prestige way of thinking. We are so sophisticated and so woke and we are so elevated, right? Isn't it? That's where it comes from. We are not prejudiced. That was our parents' generation. Okay, now that attitude has killed their children and their grandchildren. You have to be vigilant. You have to be prejudiced. You have to, because you have to protect your dog, your child, and yourself. You don't have to be rude about it. You can make a big circle. You have the right to do that. If that hurts the mugshot person, whether that is an actual mugshot person or just a lookalike mugshot person, we don't know. How do we know, right? So we have to protect them. I make a circle around all people. I don't trust I don't trust humans. Okay, that's just my personal understanding of existence. Some people took offense, right? An old white man took offense, me making a big circle around him in the store. I did that. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get the virus. And a black girl, real pretty black girl. She looks real kind, okay? Real kind and very, like, progressive, working at a Trader Joe's, right? I'm not gonna say where it was. I make a big circle around her, okay? She works there. She's stacking up the shelves. I see her. I wish her well. I have no animosity towards her at all. But I still make a circle. And she took offense. I could see it in her face. And I felt sorry about that. But that's not because of the mugshot appearance, because I make a circle around everyone. Okay, but she took it, of course, the wrong way. She thought it's out of dislike towards her skin color or whatever, ethnicity. And that was not the case, not with her, at all. I make a big circle around everyone when I go shopping. That's the truth. That's a fact. Okay. I don't like it standing in line. Okay, having to wait until I can pay. Standing in line, and I always like to have the shopping cart, big shopping cart in front of me. That puts a distance between the person in front of me and myself. But then sometimes there's a homeless person or someone that doesn't even have a shopping cart. They may only have one item in their hand. Often I let them go by, but if I already have my stuff on the bandwagon, I'm not going to take that stuff off and say, here, go ahead. No, I do that before I ever put stuff on the bandwagon. If there's a person coming with one or two items, I let them go in front of me just because of politeness, but mainly because of politeness. But also, I like to have distance towards the next person. For sure. Okay. So if I have to give a homeless person a hug, and that has happened, then that's an unfortunate situation.